Hello everyone, I am Sukhpal Singh Gill from Queen Mary University of London, UK. Today I am going to discuss about our future vision paper, that is Transformative Effects of IoT, Blockchain and Artificial Intelligence on Cloud Computing. Here we have presented evolution, vision, trends and open challenges regarding to these topics. Basically this work has been done collaboratively on hotspot topics with international researchers of different continents from both academic and industry. So in this work, we have discussed transformative effects of emerging paradigms and technologies on cloud computing systems to study the history and evolution of cloud computing from year 1958. So next, to identify the influence of IoT, AI, blockchain on cloud computing. Vision and trends for academicians, practitioners, and researchers who are working in cloud computing. The main and the final thing is cloud futurology model. That is basically a conceptual model to manage next generation computing systems holistically. So here I'm discussing about the evolution of cloud computing. So from 1958. So initially there was a client server model which has been emerged in 1958, and slowly there was a progress and it reached to the cloud computing in 2007. So this is basically the concept of cloud computing has been already talked in earlier time and it has been finally adopted in 2007. So these are basically showing the years of adoption, and these are basically showing the when they talked about the concept. So for example, cloud computing. So we have divided this evolution figure into three parts. One is technology, second is focus of study, and the third is objective. So let's see, cloud computing is technology, and the focus of study for cloud computing is basically to incorporate virtualization, cost reduction, and energy management. And the objective is basically for the resource sharing. So for example, you can talk about fog computing. So for fog computing, we have a focus of study is basically a closer proximity to the end users and IoT devices. And the objective is basically reduce latency and response time. Similarly, we have a objectives and focus of study for other technologies from client server to the edge computing. So for this, you can read more from the paper. So in this slide, I'm talking about three main important technologies which are affecting cloud computing. So first is Internet of Things, second is AI, that is artificial intelligence, and third is blockchain. Now I'm going to discuss about all these three technologies one by one briefly. So first is about blockchain. So blockchain, what is blockchain? Blockchain is basically a distributed ledger technique where information is stored as a chain of blocks. So means we have to store the information in the blocks. Adding each block is a quick, that is very fast and simple, but we need a recreation. So what recreating the complete chain is very expensive computationally, means it needs high computation power, which makes data secure. So you need a high computational power to make things more secure. So now what is artificial intelligence? So AI is basically refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like human beings and mimic their actions. So machines should behave like a human beings. So most modern AI is focused on the developing pattern recognition models using various techniques such as deep learning, reinforcement learning, and other machine learning techniques. A collection of simulated neurons are trained to predict, to forecast, and then classify or categorize or approximately real world data. So how we can play with the real world data using these concept of AI to find out the some predictions, to find out some forecasting, to predict the predict what is going in the future. So next technology is Internet of Things. So IoT is basically an interconnection via Internet of computing devices embedded in everyday objects such as mobile phones, enabling them to transfer data which can be sent and which can receive without any interaction of human beings. So data from sensor is analyzed at edge nodes, and appropriate action is taken using the actuators in an IoT network. So this is all about the IoT. So with respect to three technologies, AI, blockchain and IoT for cloud computing. So we have a impact of different new paradigms such as energy management, software engineering, auto-scaling, resource management, security and privacy, software-defined network, big data analytics, deep learning, reinforcement learning, serverless computing, fault tolerance, application design, fog computing, quantum computing, 5G and beyond, data processing, cloud containers, quality of service and service level agreement, and the last one is the Bitcoin currency. So here I'm just going to give you an overview of the paradigms, but in paper we have given a detailed description of every paradigm with respect to AI, blockchain and IoT for cloud computing. So, and we have also designed 3 future direction for every paradigm, for all these paradigms with respect to AI, blockchain and IoT in the paper. Please glance whole paper to identify the future directions regarding all the paradigms. So here I am going to discuss vision and insights of AI, IoT, blockchain with respect to cloud computing. So in case of AI, we can have these 3 important future directions such as like AI can reduce energy consumption and carbon footprints for cloud data center. So AI can also help us to predict the failures and improve the fault tolerance. AI can detect and correct the errors during the coding of software, which can help us to identify the errors during the runtime as well. So regarding the Internet of Things, so IoT environment can help to design the more innovative applications for healthcare, agriculture, transport system. So IoT application can use serverless computing to improve its design. Instead of we have to use the old cloud computing system. So IoT improves future systems like microgrids. So regarding the blockchain, so blockchain design introduces energy constraint execution, means we can save more energy and we can also increase the security. So decentralization of data is required for blockchains to work in SDN. So means we can also include the concept of serverless computing. So blockchain data structures need to be developed for efficient storage. So means we have to utilize the storage efficiently. So we can use the blockchain data structures. So as per the understanding of this literature, we have just proposed a conceptual model for cloud futurology, that is basically a holistic view of these paradigms. So how these paradigms can use in cloud computing to improve the cloud services for the future systems, for the next generation system. So how we can develop a next generation system. So we can use IoT, blockchain, AI, serverless computing, containers, VM servers, fog computing, and we can also think about the how we can include the quantum computing and 5G. Maybe we can think about later on about 6G. So these are basically how we can, so this is basically a possible way that how we can put together all the new paradigms to improve the current cloud services. So this is basically a conceptual model. So this is basically a reference for this research work. You can browse this research work from Internet of Things, Elsevier Journal, that is Transformative Effects of IoT, Blockchain and Artificial Intelligence on Cloud Computing, Evolution, Vision, Trends and Open Challenges. So the open access version is also available on my website, that is www.ssguild.me. You can also browse from here. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any doubt, kindly discuss in the comment section. Thank you very much.